Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to talk about Generation Q Season 2 a little bit and the pants pod that Kate and Leisha do. And last week, as I'm sure most people know, they had Jennifer Beals on as their guest. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button so that you're notified every time I post a new video, including all the upcoming L-word content. And if you enjoy the video, please consider giving it a like, as it really helps out the channel. If you haven't had a chance to listen to the podcast yet, I really recommend going and listening to it. It's the last episode, so it should come straight up, and it's on Apple Podcasts or anywhere that you'd find podcasts. So check that out and then come back to this video if you haven't listened to it yet. Leisha and Kate have had some really good people on the show, and most of the people have been L-word people, which obviously makes me really happy. They've had the show creator, Eileen Chaikin, they've had Mia Kirshner, who played Jenny, they've had Sarah Shahi, who played Carmen, they also have Liz Feldman, who I'm a big fan of and is the creator of Dead to Me, and obviously an out and gay woman. And this week they had Jennifer Beals. The episodes that featured L-word cast were obviously my favourites. I really enjoyed the one with Sarah Shahi and Eileen Chaikin, and they were able to answer a lot of questions that they probably wouldn't be allowed to answer, you know, when the original show was on. Eileen Chaikin even says, you know, now they can come out and say Carmen didn't come back after season 3 because she was only contracted to be on the show for 2 years. And it kind of mystifies me that they withheld that information, because that makes logical sense. And I think a lot of people can kind of take that pill and swallow it. That was how long the actress was contracted for. That's how long Sarah Shahi came out and said that, you know, I wanted to do 2 years and that was it. Would I like to come back and guest star? Of course. And that was another thing they did talk about, where, you know, the new showrunner has said they've moved away from Carmen because of representation, and they haven't, you know, put out an invitation for Sarah Shahi to come back. So I have been kind of impressed with what they've been allowed to say, but at the same time, some people have said, you know, they want more, and there's certain things, you know, they don't really talk about the L word too much, considering it's 2 cast members. And even when Jennifer Beals was on, obviously I was paying really close attention because I knew I was going to do a video on it, but they kind of only talked about the L word for maybe a quarter, if you were being really generous, a third of the show. And I know some people were kind of disappointed with the episode, but personally I went in with the expectation that it was going to be kind of what it was, that they're not gonna announce a huge amount of information. And I did really enjoy what they talked about. Jennifer Beals clearly has the same feelings about Bette and Tina that she's always had and she's always been open about. She was saying that in Bette's head, and, you know, playing Bette and as a producer, that she feels as though as long as Bette and Tina are still alive, that in Bette's perspective, there's always going to be a chance, and that Tina was the love of her life, and no matter whether she finds happiness with someone else or goes out with tons of other great women, that Tina will always be like the one for her. And I think that's how most of us feel. So it was really nice hearing that validation from Jennifer Beals, and even Leisha and Kate, you know, they're both gay women and they're saying that how much they love the character. And what you can clearly glean from the show with Jennifer, with Sarah, with any of the other people that have been on it, that they really do all get along and seem to have like a great relationship, which you don't always find that with, I mean, to them it's work, like, you know, you have work colleagues you really get on with and you have those that don't. And I think the L word was a really special project to all of them, and you can even hear that when Jennifer was talking on the show about how she never really watches herself in anything that she's in, but when the L word came out, Eileen Chaikin kind of took her aside and said, you need to watch like the first few episodes to really understand what we're doing. And Jennifer said that after she watched the episodes, she would go out and see like heterosexual couples, and it kind of weirded her out and shifted her perspective. And as she's always said, she made the L Word for those type of people that have no representation, that to reach out to people who are in, you know, these small towns or even anywhere in the world, that they want to see people that look like them, love like them, and have never been able to see that sort of positive representation before. So again, I know the L Word means that to me and to a lot of people, and I think that's why we do have such a strong community and fandom towards the show, because there really isn't anything else like it. And I think a lot of people who, even I've been a fan of the show since it started, and it was the first time I did really see on television people who were like me. And it's why all these years later I still absolutely love the show and think it's so important to have this sort of representation, and why I'm so glad the show's come back again and is telling new stories for the people, the original people who watched it, and even new audiences and younger people to see as well. Just to talk specifically about Bette and Tina and what Jennifer was saying, I mean, we can read between the lines, we can dissect every word that she said, and I think the overall, do I think season 2 episode 1 we're gonna go back and Tina will have dumped Carrie and her and Bette will be together? Unfortunately, no. I mean, I think that this is going to be a bit of a long game, because the way that Jennifer answered the question, I think that Bette is gonna maybe date Maya, date some other people. We know again from what Jennifer said that Tina will still be that one for Bette, and maybe this is the long game. We don't know how many episodes Laurel's been able to commit to. They've openly said that they're going to try and get her back as much as possible, but with the pandemic, with Laurel's art, clearly the pandemic has put a huge wrench in the works, and I'll talk a bit more about filming and coming back in a minute. But if they can only get Laurel for a few episodes in season 2, they're going to make the most of using her. So maybe we have to wait to the end of the season to get some Bette and Tina, or maybe Laurel can do all the episodes and they're really going to play the long game with this. But as Jennifer said, in Bette's head, as long as they're alive, there's a chance. So I think all of us should take that perspective as well and just know that there's a chance. One thing that I really enjoyed Leisha, Kate and Jennifer talking about was how they want more scenes together, and I thoroughly agree. I don't think there was enough by Alice and Shane in Generation Q. I don't think there was enough in the original, but if you think back to the original and some of those episodes, like they reference when they stole the sign, like that is one of the best couple of scenes in that episode. They're fantastic when they're together. And in Generation Q, I know that we obviously have the 3 originals and the rest of the mains are new characters, and they did only have 8 episodes, so there was a lot of setting up of, you know, the storylines of where they all are now, introducing all the new cast members. So hopefully in season 2, now we've got all that setup out of the way, we can get some really good Bette and Alice, Bette and Shane, Bette, Alice and Shane scenes, and just get some of that fun element back to the L Word that was not so prevalent in the original show, but when we got it, it was just brilliant. Like the basketball episode, which is one of the funniest episodes ever. I'm really looking forward to doing the review for that in season 4. Final thing to talk about that we kind of can glean from this Pants episode and just social media of the stars in general is, I know that Leisha was posting, not this weekend, the weekend before, about going out of town, and Jennifer Beals said on the podcast that she's still in Canada. obviously follow all the cast members on all Instagram, Twitter, everything, and Sefida, who plays Gigi, she seems to be in New York, and again, everybody else seems like a bit spread out, so that strongly leads me to believe that they are not going to be filming anytime soon, because I have a lot of friends, some really good friends in LA, and a couple of viewers have reached out to me on the channel also saying that LA is just really bad at the moment, so I'm not surprised that like Jennifer's in Canada and stuff, they're staying away. But if they did go back to LA to film, like they need to be back there like quite in advance of actually filming the first scene. There's like wardrobe and table reads and all these other things. So the fact that they're all still spread out, I don't think we're getting filming starting anytime soon. I would say they need to be back at least a month before filming and everything starts, possibly longer, because they may need to have a test and then 2 weeks later have another test, or depending on what they're going to do, whether they're going to do bubbles or recording the set off in some way, or they just might be trying to wait it out till it gets better, which who knows when that's going to happen. Of course, the most important thing is that everybody, the cast, the crew, everyone stays safe, and that they don't go back to filming until it is safe to do so. But I really hope that sometime soon they can figure things out whenever it is safe to film season 2, but I do not think that it's going to be happening anytime soon. I mean, I know Jennifer said, I'll put the tweet on the screen, that they were hoping to get back in the fall. We're in the fall now, and I know fall goes to December, so hopefully if things get better they can scooch in, but I really hope that we do get the show sometime before the end of 2021, but we may be looking at December 2021, January 2022, which it's so long. I know it's so long considering we finished the show in January 2020 and it has been, you know, pretty close to a year that the show started. And yeah, I know it's tough, guys. I know this is one of the many things that make the pandemic suck. And that's pretty much it for the Pants podcast, guys. I really enjoyed it, and as I said, I did also really enjoy all the previous episodes, especially the episodes where they've had L-word people on, so I hope that trend continues. It is really nice to have something L-word new coming out, considering the show is unfortunately on this hiatus, pandemic hiatus. So it's really great of Lucia and Kate to do it, and it sounds like they really enjoy it too, so that's awesome. If you have any thoughts, questions, opinions about the podcast, let me know down in the comment section. And of course, if you comment, like, and subscribe, you'll be entered into the draw to win the L-Word Generation Q Season 1 on DVD, so make sure to do that. And you can also check me out on all of my social media. Go over and follow me there for even more L-Word content. If you have any other thoughts, opinions, video suggestions, please let me know down in the comment section. I have a few ideas, and of course I will be carrying on with my L-Word retro reviews, but I have a feeling I'm gonna finish the original series before Generation Q Season 2 comes out, because we're already at Season 4, so let me know if there's anything else you would like to see me cover. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really cannot thank you guys enough for your loyalty, and to all of my subscribers, viewers, especially everyone who is so kind in the comments every single week. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really look forward to reading all your comments and chatting to you guys on social media, whether it be direct message or comments. So always feel free to hit me up over there. So thank you so much again, guys. Take care of yourselves, look after one another, and don't forget to wear your mask. See you soon, guys. Bye.